Paul Felder achieved legend status simply by stepping in the octagon with Rafael dos Anjos on Saturday. On just 5 days' notice, Felder goes from the commentary booth to the main event of UFC Fight Night 182, fighting the former champion Dos Anjos to a split decision, 5 hard rounds in the lightweight division, and a very entertaining fight of the night. Felder, big props to him for doing this. He scored major points with the UFC, with fans, with himself for stepping up. The fact that he hasn't really been training MMA too much in recent months, he was able to make weight just simply by preparing for an upcoming triathlon, and the fact he goes in there and competes for 5 hard rounds with Dos Anjos. No respect lost in any means of the way. Felder is an absolute beast, and how can anyone not give this guy his proper due now? And I think in this fight, more than anything, he proves to himself that he still wants to stick around. We have not known much about Felder's fighting future in the recent months since he lost to Dan Hooker back in February. He's been very interested in taking on commentary analyst gigs for the UFC. He is great at it. It seems like he is going to be part of that team for many years to come, and he's somewhat put fighting on the back burner. Somewhat understandable at 36 years old, but it seems like this loss to Dos Anjos, all the circumstances around it, have very much reinvigorated him. Yes, he is now on a 2-fight losing skid, but I think Felder still one of the top lightweights in the sport. He can clearly hang with the best guys, as he has every time he's stepped in the cage with them. Dos Anjos, the fact he's able to go from a guy on a full camp and step in on this short notice, and with, as he said afterwards, barely training MMA at all over the past several months, barely stepping in a gym. Very commendable for Felder. I think now he's still going to be able to get notable fights ahead. I think if his passion is to continue fighting, which from all post-fight appearances, that seems like his plan, I'd love to see them go back to a matchup against Al Iaquinta. Iaquinta, of course, on a bit of a losing skid himself, but this is a fight we've been meant to see multiple times over. The two originally scheduled to fight at UFC 218 back in December 2017 fell apart when Iaquinta suffered an injury, and then they were also scheduled to fight at UFC 223 back in April of 2018. We all know what happened there, with Iaquinta ultimately moving up to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov in the main event when the whole Conor McGregor melee bus incident and all that madness happened, with Tony Ferguson and Max Holloway falling out of that event against Khabib. So this is a fight with a lot of history between the two guys who are a little bit on the older side, have had a long run in the lightweight division, and are looking to prove themselves to still be right there at the top. I think this is a great fight between Felder and Iaquinta. Would love to see them eventually have this matchup whenever both the guys are ready to go. I know Iaquinta dealing with some stuff of his own. Felder, of course, going to need a little bit of time, but this is a fight that has been long time in the making, a long time meant to happen, and now I'd like to finally see them share the octagon.